Hi everyone, it's Eileen from Now There's a Crafty Idea, and I'm back. I know I've had a little break of a couple of days. Unfortunately my poor Poochie Dexter had to have an operation, and it was quite a big operation. He's fine, he's good, he's just, it's taken him a long time to recover. So I've had to spend the last 3 days and 3 nights cuddling up with my poor baby, trying to get him to eat, trying to get him to drink, trying to get him to do anything, because bless him, yeah, it's been a tough one for him. So the last video I did a collage, and I says to you that I would tell you what the collage was about, and I also said that I had some surprises for Etsy. So here we go, here's our surprise. I am doing stuffed pockets that I am putting onto the Etsy store, and I wanted to show you them, and I also wanted to, I've got a couple of little pieces to finish off, and then you can, well, if you know, we can finish packing them and getting them ready, and then I'm going to take photos of them and put them up on the Etsy store. So I'm really hoping that you're going to enjoy these. A lot of it is like, some of it is ephemera that I've printed, some of it I've used some scrapbook paper, some of it I've made, some of it is vintage, some of it is even antique. So enough said, I'm going to go through and show you what I've done. So I've used for the pocket itself, I've used paper from a it was from an Alice in Wonderland book, and it's a big book. I mean, the book is really big. You can see the size of the pages. Well, I mean, that's the size, and that's with the edges cut off, so it's like, that's quite a big book. So that's the paper I've used, and it's all been doubled up so it's nice and sturdy. So the pockets themselves are made with a vintage paper. The book itself, I think, is about 35 years old, so that qualifies as vintage. Because I've had someone say that I made them feel vintage by saying that the 90s was vintage. Actually, you know, 25 years is vintage, 35 years is considered antique, so it's actually considered antique. And I'm just considered ancient, so there you go. Right, so I'm going to show you what I've got in, because I've packed it with really good goodies. So here we go. So these are some vintage, I will say antique even, because they're from the 60s. These are from card games. So I think one's bridge, and I can't quite remember, canasta or something like that. And so these make lovely little journal spaces. This one's paper, but it's really nice, and I've used this one actually in the collage that I did. And then this one's quite a thick card, and that just makes such a lovely little piece of ephemera. So they've got them. And then I've put a ticket into each one, and these I've printed and cut out myself and then aged up. And then these tags, I've used some images that I got from some vintage, I'm going to say vintage, children's encyclopedias. Now, they were from the 60s, so the images in them are they're just gorgeous, and I've sat and fussy cut them out, and then I've used this lovely card, and it's just a lovely brown card. It's quite thick to make the tag itself. Then we've got just some little bits that I've taken from books and from bits of ephemera that I've got. This is a Good Housekeeping. Each of the pockets has got the same thing in, but obviously there's different, you know, so they're not all going to have that particular Good Housekeeping in. They will have a Good Housekeeping in, but they're all different. And these are some ads that I got from an old book, and they're just lovely old style ads. They're beautiful. And then there's some nice scrapbooking paper tag, and I've left it quite plain in case you wanted to decorate it yourself. And these are the faux stamps using the oh, what do I want to say? They're using the tissue napkins, and I made those up using some Edith Holden paper, so they're quite sturdy and they're quite nice. So that's the first pocket. And then the second one, this is a piece of printed ephemera. I just love it. It's like, it's an old dairy piece, so I've got to pop that in. And again, this is another journal card made with those lovely images. and it's on that lovely thick paper, so it's quite nice, and it's lovely for writing on. I've been using this in my own journal, and it writes beautifully. This is a piece of printed ephemera. It comes from, I want to say Antique Papery. It is Antique Papery. I got one of her quarantine bundles, and these tags were in there, so there's one of those. And these are antique postcards, and this is from a place close to my heart. So Barnard Castle, it's a place that I go very often, and this is the River Wear, the river that I live on, and I absolutely adore it. And I bought these in a little it's like a little paper shop in Barnard Castle, and she says, do you know what, we were going through some old boxes in the loft, and we found all of these old cards, and I can't remember the date that it was on it, but she thinks that they were from the 1940s to 50s, and they'd obviously just been left at the back of the stock room and not touched for years. And she found them, and she was like, I was going to throw them out, and then somebody says, no, pop them into little packs and see if anybody wants them. Well, you know, I bought, I don't know how many packs I bought. I nearly cleared her out. So I've put one of those in. And this is a little waterfall booklet that I've just made with some scrapbooking paper and some coffee dyed paper. So there's a little mini one. And then this is a postcard that I got from my dear husband. Bought me this set, and there's so many, I mean there's hundreds. So I've covered them, and this one is from 1951. I think the reprints, they're not actually vintage, but they are like reprinted vintage ones, if you know what I mean. And then I use this beautiful scrapbook paper. It's lovely. It's got a texture on it. I don't know if you can quite see that on the camera. And then I corner punched it, and I've aged it. And then this, because I've had a lot of questions about these are the vintage children's books. Now, most of the books that I pick up are from the 60s and 70s. There's a couple I get that are maybe 80s, but this one is 70s. And I just love the images, and what I did, I punched around these. On some of the others, I've only corner punched them. Just get that little tiny bit off. But it's just the imagery is so beautiful. And the way I folded them, you could make them into little envelopes if you wanted to. Or you could use them, you know, you could pop that could be excuse me, my voice is gone. That could be kind of in a signature, that could be on one side, and then you've got a nice pull out. So there's lots of different various ways you can use this, and just look at the imagery. I love the artists that did the children's books around that time. And then the last piece, this is what I did the collage for. So I've been making these, and they are all backed nicely with tea dyed paper, and I've sewn around them, and I've used, if you saw me do the collage, I've used all antique papers, and then my Timmy Holtz people washi tape, tags, and these lovely little washi stickers. I've put different ones on, so they're all very different, and I'm just going to show you a few of those because I haven't put them away yet. So you can see each one is very different, and they've got, although they came from the same collage, they've all got their own individual feel, I think. You know, Timmy Holtz people tend to do that anyway, because they are you know, you get a different feel. Look at that one, and that one says best day ever. I can just imagine that being a nice day down the beach. You know, and then, you know, just all of them are different, all of them have got a different feel to them. And like I say, I really enjoyed making them, and I've got a couple left to make, so I thought we'd do them. So that's the pocket that you get, and it's a 2 pockets, and then obviously, depending on how you want to attach it to your page, it can be a top loader or a side loader, or you could just have it as a freestanding pocket. But I just wanted to show you those because I've absolutely loved making them, and they're a lovely idea to pop into any kind of junk journal, you know, any kind of theme really. And obviously you don't need to use everything that's in them in the same journal, so you know, you can mix and match them. I've left these quite neutral so that you can actually, you could put these into any kind of you know, any kind of journal really. I think I have that one in the back there, didn't I? I've got them all in a specific order because I wanted to showcase the whole thing. So you'll see me messing about with them, putting things here and there. I've sat and played with them, and you know what it's like when you're creating something and you want it to look just so. And I wanted them to look just so. So I've been playing with them where I was going to put things and how I was going to have it and what it was going to look like. But I think they're quite nice. They've turned out quite nice and I've really enjoyed doing them. So I'll pop you in, and I think this one I had up at the top somewhere. And then I wanted these because it says here, we, they. It's obviously something to do with the game. I've never played that card game. I've never been a card game type of person. Anybody who does play them, you probably know what that means. But I just love it because wouldn't that be great in a journal? There you go. So that's standing a little bit taller than it was. So that's the pocket, and I've got quite a few. I'm just going to show you them. I think there's about 19 all in all. There was 20, but I'm keeping one because I wanted it. So you can see they've all got very similar things in, but you'll see that the images are different, and like the postcards are different. So this one is, now that is called the Buttery, and it's the Market Cross in Barnard Castle. Again, like I said, it's a place close to my heart. I've stood on that buttery many times, and as you can see, each of the Good Housekeeping, they're all different images. The tags are different images. You know, it's that each one, although they're very similar, they're all very individual as well. So let's put these away. I'm showing you them so that you can see them for the Etsy, and I've got to finish putting the tags in them, but let's finish making the tags first. So I'll put that one aside and get my glue book, and these are the last of the tags. Now this one's curled a little bit, but that's okay because they're straighten up, no problem. And I'm going to sew around them as well. So let's get these ones done. I wanted to put it that way, and I wanted to put this nice gentleman on this one, and all I'm using is this textured paper, which is gorgeous, and it's like a fibre paper. You can see the fibres popping out when I'm tearing it. So I want a nice piece behind him. And I love the way that the fibres do stick out because it gives it that extra bit of texture on the paper, which I love. This maybe is a little bit too tall. Right, let's have a look and see. Yeah, I like that. He looks quite, maybe if I put that a little higher and have him standing. There we go, that's perfect. I'm loving that. Isn't he such a nice old gentleman? I mean, he just looks elegant. Right, let's get me glue. And I'm just using glue on this paper. It is textured, but you know, the glue stick actually works quite well with it. It's almost like fabric, the paper, but it, you know, for some reason it just works really well with the glue stick, so I'm not too fussed. So there we go. And I am going to just, I don't want to ruin those lovely fibres by rubbing it down. Hence I'm using the bone folder, because it has that lovely effect. And just rub the centre down. There we go. Right, now I'm going to use me, if I can find it, my squirty glue. Oh, before I do that, our gentleman needs a little bit of distress, so we'll just get him distressed a little bit. There we go, perfect. I just like to take, it doesn't put a lot of ink on it, but sometimes on these people, because they're on this white card, the edges are quite white, and you know, it stands out if you've got them against a dark background. Like you can see on this one, you can see she hasn't been distressed, and you can see somewhere, you know, some places the white just shows out. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just seeing things. And while I've got this out, I'll just distress the label as well. And these labels, I think, do you know what? I'm not even going to try and think about where I got them from, because I've got that many. There might be Artie Mays, there might be Antique Papery, there might be Artsology. I think they're Artsology. I think. As well as the tabs, they're Artsology as well. Right, let's get some glue on. And then we'll get him on. And this is basically how I've done all of the large tags, the large journal cards. Because, you know, it's nice to put some vintagey things in, but I also like to put in lots of things that I've made myself. You know, that handmade feel, it just, they work out lovely. And then pop these down. And what I will say is I'm going to list them under one listing, so whichever one you get is the one you get. I'm not, if I listed them all separately, it would take me forever, and to be honest, I don't think that they are all different, but you know, it would I'd have to take about 20 photos to show you the differences in them. And it's just, it's better if they're random, because then you don't know what you're going to get. And I'm not going to just put a little bit more on there. I'm not going to sit and pick ones out, because I want them to be random, because that way, like I say, it's going to be a little surprise. You don't know which one you're going to get. You're going to open your package and you're going to have this nice little surprise of, oh, who's hiding in there. That's going to be fun. I love doing things like that. I'm just going to put this lovely watch next to him, because he looks like a gentleman who needs a watch. There we go. And then I think I'll pop this. It's going to be a bit close to the edge, but that's fine. Oh, I suppose. No, I want it at the top. I'm going to pop it at the top. Although, now I'm changing my mind. It's just as well this is a washi sticker. Will it come off? Yes, it will. There we go. Right, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on it. And I might put this at the bottom. So I'm thinking it looks a little bare in that corner. Oh yes. Oh, and you know what's happened? It's picked up some of the fibres from the paper to give it this lovely texture. Oh, that is so cute. I love that. I love that. Right, let's get some glue on this label. I might have to start doing that with my other washi stickers, because that's great. That is so interesting. Right, I think offset a bit is brilliant. Yes, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Now, which label do we want to put on? Is that a bit too peachy? Oh, I like that one. That's nice. Right. This is what I've been sitting doing for the last hour and a half. I've been arguing with myself while I've been making these large journaling cards. And honest to God, the amount of time I've put into them is just because I want them to be perfect, you know? I want people to open them up and think, oh, that just goes lovely together. There we go. Okay, and that's him done, and I'm just going to sew around him, but I'll do that off camera, because, you know, don't tell her, but Betty's been a little bit temperamental. Don't say anything, she's listening. So I'm not going to sew on camera. You think I'm crazy? I am. I'm not even going to deny it. Honestly, my daughter came in about half an hour ago, and she says to me, she saw me trying to sew with Betty, and she saw me struggling. She's like, Mom, how long have you had that thing? And I was like, shh, she can hear you. Don't say things like that. And she went, oh, seriously, Mom. And I swear down, and this is no word of a lie, me tension screwed up. She was listening. She wasn't happy. She heard what she said, and the tension went skewy. And I said, you know what? Don't talk about Betty that way, because she can hear you. Yeah, I've lost it. But I swear, she just said it, and then before you know it, the tension went. I was like, oh. But we've talked about it, haven't we, Betty? She's sitting next to me. If anybody wants to know who Betty is, who's not a regular on the show, on this channel, it's my sewing machine. I call her Bertha or Betty, depending on what mood I'm in. But yeah, she's very temperamental. We sat and figured out that she's got to be about 20 years old. And I think for a 20-year-old sewing machine, she's doing pretty well. So I says to Amy, my daughter, I says, don't talk about Betty. She can hear you. Be nice. She was like, Mum, you need to get a new one. I says, don't you dare say things like that in front of her. She can tell. And then the tension screwed. It's like, see what you've done. Am I the only one who thinks that sewing machines listen to you? I mean, seriously? She knew what she was saying. Oh, there we go, nicely aged. And I think we'll pop you there, and then we'll pop you there, because I think you need a butterfly. Perfect. I love this lady. She's just sitting there like, yeah, whatever. It's kind of like me, kind of like, yeah, watch the world go by and who cares. That's the mood I've been in today. Just sitting watching the world go by, crafting away. What better way to spend a day? Right, okay. I'll pop you there, because I'm liking you there. And you kind of slightly screw it because you're sitting. There we go. Right. Make sure we get every bit of our stuck down. I'm just going to hold drum it, just because these cards, because of the collage, they are tending to curl just a little bit, but once they get everything glued on, they're fine. It's just the initial putting things on. I think I need a new glue page. And then they'll be absolutely champion. Okay, glue everywhere. How do I manage it, you know? I watch other YouTubers and they tend to get on with things and not have glue everywhere. Me, I end up like a blooming nursery kid with like stuff stuck to my fingers. Yep. Right. Oh, I like that label. That just really, a nice big label sometimes is all you need. Right. Let's see if I can get this butterfly off, because, you know, these washi stickers, sometimes too much for me. Right. Oh, that one wasn't too bad. I'm going to put a little bit more glue on. So I want to make sure she sticks. The butterfly is a she, by the way, in case you didn't realise. This is what spending 3 days and nights with a sick dog does to you. You crave any kind of conversation, even if it is crazy. Right, oh, I love that one. I love the tones. It's all come together. It's lovely. Yeah, I'm liking that. Okay, last one. This is our last one. And I want to give this a really good ink. These are the die cut labels that I did myself. And I love them, but they do need a really good ink around the edge just to set them off, because they can be a bit plain. And I was thinking about getting some of those Sharpies, and just drawing like a little border around. I haven't gotten round to it yet, but I quite like them once they've been distressed. They look quite nice. I like it, yeah, and I like the colours. Right, now this young boy, look how cheeky Charlie he is. I like that. Okay, we'll go this side. See how all these little fibres come out? I love it. Love it. Right. So I hope everybody's been well. I've heard about Kapua, California. If you live in California, oh my word, you are going through it. I'm sitting here complaining about the autumn weather, and yous are having the biggest heat wave and all those fires and all the terrible things happening. Wow. I mean, we as a nation, the British, we do tend to whinge about the weather a lot. But boy, that's really bad, that. I hope you're staying safe, and I hope you're staying well, and hopefully, you know, things will get back to normal soon. I was just reading the news about those poor people who got they got caught at the reservoir by the fire. Wow. Now to be airlifted out by helicopter. Oh my goodness. I mean, wow. These are really going through it. Now, I've got this nice little, it says, carry out random acts of kindness with no expectation of reward, safe in the knowledge that one day someone might do the same for you. Now, I like that, so I'm gonna, should I pop that there and he can sort of sit on the edge like that? Yes, I like that. And then that label can go there. Yes, I'm liking that. So yeah, wow. It's a weird, weird, weird world, isn't it? It's just this year, my word. Do you know what? If aliens came down from the sky, it wouldn't surprise me this year. Any other year, I'd be knocked on my backside, but this year, no, I'm just waiting for it to happen. Everything else has happened. Does anybody else feel like that? Is it just me? It's just, okay. I'm getting to the stage where it's like, come on then, what else have you got for me? Just bring it on, because like, yeah. Oh, wow, it's just unbelievable the things that have been going on this year. I mean, oh, just let's not talk about it, okay? Talk about happy things. Happy place, happy place. I'm going to ink the edge of this, just because it is a little white around the edge, and I don't want that white. It's going to disrupt me colours, me neutrals. There we go. That's a good thing about these washi stickers though, they do take the ink really well, so that's good. I have been listening, now I'm going to plug someone here, which I've done in the past, but this is not a crafter, okay? If you're anything like me, I love listening to audio books and stories and, you know, things like that when I'm crafting. Can't get that side off. And so sometimes I'll listen to YouTubes, like YouTubers. And I love kind of the weird and wonderful. So I've been listening now for about 3 years to this guy. He's an Australian guy called Bee Buster. Now, I don't know if anybody's heard of him, but he tells scary stories, and I love a good scary story. I mean, we grew up, you know, telling each other scary stories around the coal fire, trying to scare the living daylights out of each other to see who would who would be the first one to hide beneath the pillars. Because we did, and it was always me. I mean, come on, when Doctor Who used to come on and the Daleks came on, I was hiding behind the settee because I was that scared of them. And the day the Daleks could go upstairs, that was it. I was done, because up until then my plan was just head for the nearest set of stairs. You know, when the Daleks come, just go for and then they could float upstairs, and I was like, that's it, I'm done, I'm out. Nope. So yeah, we used to meet, because there's obviously, I'm the youngest of 4, And I've got my sister, my oldest sister, she's the oldest. Hi Mandy, she's been watching my videos, bless her. She's made a first junk journal. I've got her hooked. She's going to come over and we're going to do some crafting. So yeah, and then there was my two brothers, and we used to like watching the Hammer House of horror movies and things like that, and oh yeah, and telling scary stories. And my youngest brother Neil, oh, I'm putting that on. I haven't, you know what, I haven't sewn round them. You know what, I've put one on as well, haven't I? Wait a second while I just get a wipe. There was a reason I wasn't putting them on. Let me just wipe this glue off before it sets. There we go. Okay, right, leave them aside because I need to put them on after I've sewn. Yeah, so we used to, my youngest brother Neil, he used to love telling scary stories, and he used to, we used to sit on his bunk bed, and I'd be like pretending to play with me Barbie while he'd be telling me these scary stories of axe murderers and things like that. Anyway, all to say, I love scary stories. So if you get a chance and you like stories, and I've told you before I'm a bit of a storyteller, I love telling stories, and you like stories, go and listen to Bee Buster. He's really good. Some of the stories are a bit like OMG. I'm just going to drink my cup of tea. My throat's getting dry, excuse me. But yeah, so that's my plug for the day. If you like a good horror story, or a good scary story, or a good OMG story while you're crafting, then go listen to him. He's great. He's kept me sane for 3 years. Right, I'm quickly going to sew around these and then I'll put the tabs on. That one I'll just have to sew either side of the tab because I wasn't supposed to put the tab on. But I'm going to turn the camera off and then I'll pop back and show you when they're done. There we go. So I am going to just glue these on, and that's the last thing I've got to do. Right, let's see which one's going to go best with you. I like that peach with that. I like that side best. Okay. So yeah, so if you like a good story, go over and check that out. There's loads of others as well, and I'm trying to think of the names. Because I kind of love fairy tales. I always have done. I've always loved a good fairy tale. There's a guy I watch a podcast I listen to. I watch me podcasts, you know, I'm just awkward like that. I like that. She's turned out lovely, hasn't she? I love all the tones of that one. I love all of these. I'm in love with them. Hence why there should have been 20 and there's now only 19 because I've nicked one for myself. Oh my word, yeah. Yeah, so I listen to a few podcasts, and there's one, do you know, for the life of me, I can't remember his name. And it's just called, I think it's just called Fairy Tales something. I'll have to look it up. Anyway, if I can remember, I'll pop it in the link. Can you link to a podcast on YouTube? There's something to find out. Anyway, I'll pop the name down anyway, if I remember. Oh, I'm chucking things about now. Right, so the last thing to do now is to get all of these popped in to all of these. Now, I am just going to do them at random because I don't want to know which one's which. That's going to be a surprise for whoever buys them. They're going to find them and they're going to see that they've got them all, you know, they're all random. None of them have been created specifically, you know, put together in any particular rhyme or reason. I'll show you this because this is the only difference in some of these, is that some of these pages I've only punched the corners, but I think it still looks really pretty. And like I said, you could still make them into a nice envelope, or you could still have them as a fold out page, kind of, you know. So that's the only difference on those pages anyway. I'm trying not to squash everything down as I put things in. And these are a lovely size as well for your journal, because it's big and you can get lots of stuff in them. I'm loving them. Like I said, I've already got one in in my journal now. And I've decided to do some autumn themed ones, so I'm going to work on them this week, and then I'm also going to do some Christmas ones. So they're going to be Christmas themed and autumn themed, so keep an eye out for those as well. Actually, I'll tell you when I've done them. The autumn themes ones I want to try and get them done this week, because obviously, you know, everybody's already starting their autumn journals, and I've got mine there ready to go. So yeah, so that's one thing. And then the Christmas ones, I'll let you know when I'm doing them. It'll probably be towards the end of next month, which is September, now October, because I think October onwards people are just, it's Christmas, isn't it? You know what I mean? I know, I don't know when you have Thanksgiving in America, but from basically once Halloween's done in England, that's it. The rest of the season is just Christmas. Yeah. In fact, I went to the shops today, right? It's September. It's the beginning of September. Excuse me while I take a drink, of course. I talk too much sometimes and my throat gets dry. It is the beginning of September. I went to the shop today. Guess what was in the shop? Christmas decorations. I'm like, come on, people. Seriously, can we have a break? They might as well just leave them in all year round, you know. I know I love Christmas, don't get me wrong. I'm one of the people who love Christmas the most, but come on, you know, they spoil it because it's too soon, you know. You don't get a chance to, because it's in your face for months. So I think it takes away some of the specialness of it. That's my personal opinion. So yeah, so I'm going to avoid it like the plague. I am going nowhere near anything to do with Christmas until the end of October at the very least. But yes, I will do some of these pockets and there will be Christmas themed. But they'll probably be towards the end of October. I am just prattling for prattling's sake today, aren't I? Wow. Right, I'm going to stop prattling. So there we are. There's all those lovely stuffed pockets for you. And I've really enjoyed them. If you want to watch me make one from the beginning, then pop that in the comments below, because I'm quite happy to show you them from the beginning, from starting with blank paper. And you know, I don't mind doing that at all. So if you want to see that, pop a comment below and I'll do a tutorial on the whole thing. But I hope you've enjoyed listening to me prattle. I hope you're going to like these. Pop across to the Etsy store and see if you can pick yourself one up. And like I say, I'm going to do some autumn themed ones. There won't be quite so many of the autumn themed ones. I don't know how many I'm going to do. There's 19 of these, probably 10. So there won't be that many because I haven't got that much autumn stuff, to be honest with you. There just hasn't been anything in the shops this year. I don't know if it's just England, but honestly, I'm struggling to find anything autumn. There's Halloweeny things in, but not so much autumn. And the craft papers this year, just the pants, absolutely pants. I'm gonna say they are the pants. I haven't found any good scrapbooking paper that's like autumn themed, and I've struggled to find anything. So there won't be so many of the autumn themed ones, but the Christmas ones, well, yeah, there's just Christmas for days. Christmas for months. So there'll be plenty of those ones, but these are more of a neutral one, you know. These are going to go with just about any theme you've got, and you know, that's just, you know, perfect for your everyday journal, for you, you know, any kind of theme that you've got, any kind of color scheme that you've got, because they're quite neutral. Most of the ephemera in them is neutral, so yeah, they're quite good. Hopefully you think so. So anyway, please drop a like I said before. The likes make a big difference. If you've watched the video, if you've enjoyed any part of the video, drop a like and let me know, because the more likes I get, the more I get seen by YouTube, the more they advertise me and push my videos, the more people get to see them, and then the more things I can make for you as well. and that would be great. We're coming up to, I think we've got 475 subscribers now, which is great, because now I really need to get on with that Ladybird book, which is going to be my 500 subscriber giveaway. And I have another giveaway coming up at the end of this week, so this should be going out on Monday. So yes, on Friday there'll be another giveaway video, so I hope that you're going to call in and have a look at that, because I've got some bits and pieces. I've been having a look through, well, when I've been digging out all of my autumn stuff and all of my Christmas stuff, I've found some lovely bits and pieces that you know, you might find them useful. Oh, I'll snip that little tiny bit of thread there. So yeah, so call in and see, and hopefully you'll enjoy that, and I hope you enjoyed me. I'm going to stop prattling. I've prattled too much. So stay safe, stay healthy, and happy crafting. Bye.